This is a poem to tell the story about this series and its inventory. I'll be speaking of my hopes, dancing out my dreams, and turning what once was a live show into a series of cinematic scenes. Lopsided is the name and the topic of choice, an autobiographical look at what makes up my voice. Now, you may be surprised that you've already taken part of what and how this piece is community-driven art. You see, this series is a sort of pick-your-own adventure. You get to decide which order and when to watch empowers you to curate live. Now, this series wasn't made to tell y'all what you should be thinking. It's more to unravel my own biases in a world that seems to be sinking lower and lower into a state of discontent. I mean, I myself have said and done some things that have called for this lament. It seems like every issue has some sort of unassailable definite side, a sort of us versus them, which is a false philosophical dichotomy that no side is gonna win. Like some dogmatic trade war, the stakes keep getting higher, 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 and higher. People pissing people off, and it's already led to gunfire, rockets launched, bombs dropped, the smart ones, not the dumb. And I do have to pause, because I'm still hung up on that concept. Aren't smart bombs an oxymoron? Now, I'm not here to offend anybody or create some sort of new conspiracy of fake news leaking, because some of you are simply watching just to troll me. Statistically speaking, half of you are Republican, half of you didn't vote, but I suppose this is an art show, so I must be talking about them other folk. And you see, that's what gets me about this lopsided world. It's always somebody else's fault, like our own fists aren't curled, gnarled, and nasty the verbal punches we throw. Online arena turning life into some kind of game show, no accountability, just strangers to oppose. So let's remedy that quick and see if we can't possibly postpone our collective woes. I say we start at the source of at least my story proper and hear from someone that I consider an absolute showstopper, my rock and heroic phenom who is like no other. I'd like to set the stage and introduce my extraordinary mother.
I was born in the Gaylord Hospital.
I grew up here, and probably the only children other than white were adopted.
The surrounding towns look very similar to us. So it wasn't until you got maybe in a tournament play that you got outside of rural, southern Minnesota.
I've never felt any, racial bias or anything like that. They just have brown skin, and they get really nice tans in the summer, and I can never catch up with that, so.
I think not that I broke the mold, but I think I told my mom and dad that don't be surprised if I come home married to a black guy. When I went to Cleveland and went to nursing school there, I was dating a black guy, not their dad yet, but, and again, they instantaneously, what are they going to think? What about the children? Oh, like, we're dating. We met at a bar and we danced. Yeah, Dwayne was pretty stubborn. And he'd, talk about people that he didn't get along with. And I'm like, I am white. He's like, yeah, well, you're the exception. With two little ones and Brian in second grade. And then Dwayne died unexpectedly in his sleep. Brian was an easy kid. I think he has more of my demeanor. Kind of go with the flow. And I can remember when Brian was filling out applications for colleges, and he was putting down nursing. Since when are you interested in that? I don't know. I think I want to be a helper. And then at the same time getting calls from football coaches. And I'm like, are you planning to play football? He ended up taking a dance class and just as an elective and really liked it. And then one Christmas in Christ Chapel, he's like, I should probably tell you that I declared a major you know, because he'd said, I don't know what to major. And I said, you know, you could do music. He's like, how could I make a living? I said, people would pay to listen to you sing. Oh, okay. So then when he came and told me that he is majoring in dance, I'm like, and how are you going to make a living at that? His professor at the time said, you know, lots of people who major in dance put down a minor in something just in case. And he's like, I'm not doing that. Okay, so that was the start of something big. But he did a lot of theater and a lot of music and a lot of dance at Gustavus along with playing football. And I credit his coach at the time, Coach Schennebeck, caused, I think, a dramatic shift in our family and how we related to each other, because every time we had a parent gathering or every time he had practice and told the boys, you make sure that you thank your parents for sending you here. You tell them that you love them and how grateful you are. And so this is when Brian's in college, which is kind of sad that we started to say I love you to each other a whole bunch more, you know, and just, I'm sure we said it before that, but it never seemed so natural as that. And that's, you know, he was 20 plus years old. So I am so grateful for that transition in life, that we just became closer as a family too. Well, exactly. Out into the community and out into the world, and if we could get everybody to do that, we'd be in a much better place. He did not get dance moves from me. I used to be told by all of Dwayne's friends that I looked like I was stomping grapes. I think it's art, so you can decide whatever you think it is about. I should just always automatically go at least twice to every performance, if not 3 times, because you see something different every time. I like being a part of that. So, you know, when he goes to Seattle, I'll still get to take in those other shows. Yeah, it'll be a nice place to visit. Yeah, I Brian's mom to everyone, and some people even know my name now, which is